yet. I know just
hers lost her husband due to a motorcycle accident, and I think they had made maybe like 2 payments. And so with that being said, they had over a $200,000 policy. And
hello everyone, and welcome to the Sitting Room of Faith. I am your host, Tiffany Kennedy, and I'm here with the great, the magnificent. It's a couple here. You only see one of them right now. This is Miss Lavonica Davis. I'm here with her and her husband, Timothy Davis, both with Primerica Financial Services. And today they're going to be coming to us explaining what they're doing with their business, how they can help you, how they can help us. And she's going to expound on that herself. But first off, I always have to start with a scripture. Proverbs 19:8 says, "The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper." Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
glad
you for having us.
You are welcome. I'm so glad you all traveled all this way, 2 hours away, to come see us today. And I'm excited. I want to learn something because I have no idea about any of her services yet. I know just the surface, but she's going to dig deeper and she's going to give us all better understanding into what it is they do. Her husband's getting ready to switch seats with me, and he's going to be over here, and I'm going to be asking questions from behind the camera. And I'm going to let them talk first. Y'all know how I do. They're going to talk, and I'm going to ask questions because I know you all need the answers to these questions. So thank you again. Thank you again.
Thanks for having us.
And I'm still here with the lovely Timothy and Lavonica Davis, a wonderful couple. And I know they want to share what they're doing with all of you all today. And you all go ahead, tell us all about Primerica Financial Services, because I know I want to know more information, and I'm going to be watching and listening with everybody else.
All right, so just a little synopsis of how about the company. We've been a company ever since 1977. So February made 45 years that we've been in business. We have over 130,000 licensed agents. And we had helped over 5.5 million with insurance, as well as over about 2.2 with investments. So that's like 7 million people. And the thing is, we don't do any kind of like commercials, no billboards. So many people haven't heard of us because it's all through word of mouth. So we're so grateful for our opportunity to share with what we do. We've been with the company for going on 2 years now. And it's one of the best decisions that we made. I'm not just saying that. Most people say it just to be saying it. But I'm not saying that to be saying it, because this have changed not only our lives, but we're looking to change our family lives, our friends, our community, as well as our children and grandchildren lives. So this company gives you kind of like a holistic financial services.
I think that's wonderful. I failed to tell everybody, you all are actually regional leaders in your field. How did you get to that point?
You would like to answer that, Tim?
well, basically, it was a lot of hard work and dedication. We also use this as our ministry as well. So, and the reason why I bring that point out is because we had to help a lot of people. We had to help a lot of families. We had to take self out of the way. We had to learn. We had to be coachable. A lot of long nights in order, a lot of studying and everything, the pass test to get a license, different things like that. We also had to develop a team. We had to help other people make income for their families, and also, so after a certain length, you have to have a certain amount of people on your team. You have to have certain people licensed. You have to have a certain amount of families that you help in a certain period of time. So it was it wasn't an easy process, but like I said, we was dedicated to the assignment. And so being dedicated to the assignment, we look at it as a ministry and look at it like, how many families could we help in a short period of time? Or we all have family members rather that's in our family that need help and need services. So we was able to help our family and friends first, and that helped us.
Well, I think it's important for us to think about our children's future.
Yes.
Even the Bible discusses making sure you leave something behind for each generation, so your children can have something. We're giving our children a hand up, a step up, and helping them to advance. A lot of people don't put a ladder out for their children. They say when you get 18, you can move out my house and get out right now. But our children need to have something they can lean on and depend on, something they can step into in their own lives, right?
Yes.
A lot of people do that with their children, but some of us, and even in a lot of our communities, we've noticed that a lot of children don't get that hand up.
Yes.
When you say get licensed, what does that entail?
So basically what that entails, it comes from a lot of studying to make sure that you're doing the right thing. You just can't go out and do what we do without being licensed. So through the state, and by us being in the state of Arkansas, we have to go through and meet certain criteria with that.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about your financial services, because I'm sure they want to know, what can you do for any family? Even in my house, it's a family, me and my husband. We have 2 young people in our house. My son's in college, so he's still under us. My daughter's getting ready to turn 16 years old. How does this company, Primerica, benefit a family like ours?
Okay, first of all, what it is, our financial service is kind of like a one-stop shop. So you don't have to go here, there, everywhere in order to meet your financial needs. So it's kind of like 2 parts to the wheel. We call it Primerica wheel. On the right side of the wheel, you have your wealth accumulations, and these are services that we partner with like billion-dollar companies, like Voya and places like that. You're able to get services with them. For instance, we help people with 401k retirements. We help them with mutual funds, with annuities. We have managed their investments. And that's mostly so when it's time for a person to retire, we make sure down to the very penny that you don't run out of money. And we do that with our need. We call it FNA, which is called a financial need analysis.
Okay.
And so you're able to get your FIN number. That FIN number lets you know how much you need to the very penny. And also inflation including that. So when it's time for you to retire, that you don't run out of money, because it's nothing like halfway through your retirement and then next thing you know you done outlived your retirement.
Right.
And then also on the other side of it, we do for wealth preservation. So I like to talk more about the wealth preservation.
So really on the wealth preservation, that's different services that people might already have, and we'll allow them to get a better rate using our services. Like for instance, vehicle insurance, we use companies like Progressive Insurance. It's a well-known company. Also like Safeco. We help people with Vivid is the #1 leading security and being able to help families turn their home into smart homes. We also do, the life insurance through Primerica. And then we have opportunity to get people to put like a will in place with our legal shield and things like that. And also the way how spam and all of that stuff is going on nowadays, we're able to actually help people with those services with identity theft and things like that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so tell me this: when you start talking about people investing their money and getting ready for retirement, exactly how is that you all help them? Do you all use stock markets? I heard you say mutual funds. Do you all look at what they're doing at work, how they're investing in different, like for instance, on my job is TSP, the Thrift Savings Plan. Do you all look at their plan and say, okay, what age do you plan to retire at? This is how much money you need to be saving right now. Do you teach them how to save a certain amount of money so they can have it, like you said, to live on, basically keeping the same income they have to live the same life they're living now after retirement?
Yes, that's where that financial need analysis comes in place. Whatever they have, like on their job, we can do rollovers until what we have. And so we're going to find the best plan for the person. So basically we get with a couple or a single individual, they tell us what kind of lifestyle they're going to have when they retire. And so we'll let them know, well, you need to save X, Y, Z. Then on top of that, we offer like debt cancellation, where we tell you how to begin to debt stacking, to eliminate your debt, and then also to cover your income right now. That's where we make sure that you're protected with insurance. So so that's right now, your income important right now, but also we look into the future of it. So that's how we begin to help people with that financial need analysis.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you all go to people and help them? Do you actually go to families' homes and sit down with them? Do they come to your home or to your office?
Well, we do both, and also we use Zoom.
Okay, that's good.
Because,
of course,
so we use Zoom a lot. Sometimes we'll meet them in a coffee shop. Sometimes we go to churches. and share the information. Different places in the cities that we'll be able to go, and sometimes, maybe even get a hotel conference room or whatnot to be able to do it and be able to allow people to come there and be able to have the space that we need, for social distancing and stuff as well, to be able to share this information with them.
Okay.
It's just based on whatever the client feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Some don't like Zoom, so we can. It's confidential, so we're able to talk over Zoom.
Right.
Or some people don't like the food electronics, and we can come to their home in order to talk about it. And so the biggest thing is we want to get families to talk about it, Tiffany, because it's like you said at the beginning, where we in our community, we want to make sure that we're leaving generational wealth for our families, not generational debt.
That's it.
And we have to find a way to how to get this conversation. First of all, I love this because we're talking about it and getting a conversation about it, because as a community, we don't like to talk about our finances. And so therefore we want to get the conversation started to let's be realistic. Let's get into reality. Do you really need all that you need right now, or you think about the next generation? Because like you said, you have to get the next generation a hands up. So that's why we're coming in and making sure that we're thinking about our children's children. That's what the Bible say.
That's right. That's what the Bible says. The word does say that. So many people are not focused on making sure their children have something when they leave here. And I'm so glad you all are thinking about that. You mentioned life insurance. I'm sure you all know, as well as I know at the age I am now, not that old, people who have passed away and all they had set aside was enough money to pay for their burial. They didn't leave nothing behind for their young children or even their older children to take care of the bills they had left over, or to even clean out their houses, or just pay that last bit of rent. The money wasn't there. How do you all help convince people that you need life insurance? You need to be covered. Don't just leave enough money to bury yourself. Leave enough money for your kids to have at least a car. My goodness, to put a deposit down on the house and to have a wedding if you're not here to be with them.
So people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And with that being said, with this insurance, we see it all the time. People having GoFundMes, they selling plates, they doing what they can do.
Going to the church asking.
Going to the church asking.
Yes.
And so we said, okay, by us being in the ministry, we said, okay, if we able to share this even with the churches, with the pastors of the churches who allow us to come in and share this, it'll take a burden off of them.
Right.
And so not only just that, we have system in place to be able to help them to say, okay, you need to be properly protected, because one thing about it, if it's a married couple and if one of them leave here, God called them home, those bills does not stop coming in.
Yes.
They still have that debt. So we want to make sure that they properly protected so they can be able to keep that money invested so they can be able to still have that income. Now, it's not going to bring their loved one back, but they don't have to go to work the next 2 or 3 days, grieving.
While they're grieving.
They're grieving. And then also they will have enough, because we have a deal set in place called the Dime, and Lavonica will talk about that here in just a second. But it lets us know how much they need to cover that debt and everything that they have, so they won't be left like that, and they will be able to make it. So if you want to share about the DIME concept.
The DIME is basically kind of like an acronym. The D stands for death benefit and your debt. And the death benefit is kind of like, say, like $20,000. Of course, a funeral probably don't cost that much now, but we include inflation in that acronym. Then the debt is like your credit card debt, your personal loans, and then your automobile loan. So you put it all together for if for a married couple, we get both of them that debt and the funeral expense. And then also the I is for the income. So whatever your income is, say you got making $30,000, but we times it 10. So it's going to be $300,000, because at least you're covered. If something happened to your spouse, at least you have 10 years worth of that person's income in that insurance policy.
And that's effective.
Yeah, it is effective. And so then the M is for mortgage. So whatever you have left on your mortgage, we put it inside that policy. And then the E is for your kids' education. And so we do like $50,000 for your kids' education, each child. So that's how we come up to make sure. So it's our job as agents to show you what you really need versus just $10,000 for a funeral cost. And so we want to make sure that's what we call properly protected. Means all of this in there. So if anything was to happen to your spouse or anything, you can say, you know what, I'm going to grieve. It's going to hurt. But I say after that funeral, you can at least have some peace.
That's it.
Knowing that
it's peace.
Covered.
Yes. Knowing that you are covered. Amen. I think that's wonderful that you all are doing this and you're going to the different churches. I do have a question because, of course, people are watching and they're thinking, okay, Primerica, okay, financial services. I see how they can help me. I see the benefit. I'm understanding the community. I understand that a lot of us don't want to talk about our finances, but how much does it cost? Can they afford your financial services?
Yes, most definitely. And I get excited just because when you talk about can you afford, I get excited about that because for number one, we have some of the lowest costing financial services. We actually can get people started with investment for only $25. You take Edward Jones. I remember back in the day when I tried to make an investment with Edward Jones, thinking $10,000 be able to get you through the door. But some of these companies won't see you unless you're doing six-figure income investment. So we can start with $25 a month. Also, with our insurance, you always can start somewhere. Our biggest goal is to help a person get something. So they can be covered, and then as time go on, if they want to raise it, that's fine. So we never go in, once we get their budget, we say, okay, what's affordable for you? And we're going to see what we can find in your budget because we want you to have something.
The thing that we really want to voice to everyone on today, to take this matter seriously, like your finance, we have to have a point in life where life is fun. But at the same time, in order to really have fun and enjoy your life, it takes money to do it. And so why not have the best of both worlds? You can have your fun, your family, and your money. And so I would just like to read some of these statistics to put something on your mind to let you know about where we stand at in the United States. It says 74% of workers report living from paycheck to paycheck. So out of 100 people we know, just think about, scroll up social media. Out of all of those 100 people you know, 74 of those people are living from check to check. And it looks like we have it going on, but in actuality, when you go follow them to the bank, we don't have it going on. So that's something to really think about.
That's right.
And it also said almost half of Americans say they worry that they'll run out of money in retirement. We touched on this already. So you'll see some people, the company will throw you a party, they'll sign a card, and they'll wish you a farewell. Then next thing you know, guess what? You see them at Walmart. It ain't because all of them are not bored. It's because they don't ran out of money.
Amen.
And so the other one I want to touch on is said that the average American has over a $90,000 in total consumer debt. Now we live from paycheck to paycheck, but then you have debt. So that don't even go together. It's time to really start saving some of that money, at least some of it, so you can be better off. And the last statistics I want to talk about say about 60 million households in the U.S. are underinsured or none is insured, with the average insurance coverage gap of like $20,000. It's going back to what Tiffany was saying, sharing with us, like when you have those $10,000, $20,000 policies, that's not enough to cover you. So there's a big gap in between that needs to be closed in order so your family don't have to struggle when something happened to you.
Yes. Yeah, I do have a question about education because you all mentioned helping save for education. What does that entail? You can see my page right now, a lot of children graduating from high school, getting ready to take their next step to go to college or to for a trade to school. So how do you all help them?
Well, we have a place set up in place like part of the investment group part I was talking about, like a wealth accumulation where you're able to save money. It's different programs that we have in place that you can save money like on a monthly basis in order for your child to go to college. So that's how that works.
Does the company match what they're saving or add a percentage to what they're saving? Or if they're just saying, hey, we're helping you keep your money over here so you won't touch it?
It's kind of like a holding, but it's connected with the mutual funds and with basically kind of like with compound interest and things like that.
Okay, so it does grow.
Yeah, it grows.
So if I put in, let's say, $200 a month for Tiana, while she's getting ready to be a junior next year, it'll grow.
That's where
that's how she graduates.
So that's where we begin to like sit down, get an appointment with you, with your family, and begin to talk about the program would be best to fit you all. But yes, it does grow. We're going to go to the next part of what happens when reality hits you and your loved one actually pass, how does that affect you on the financial end of it?
So basically, once that first payment goes through, you don't have to wait 2 years in order for them to pay out. I remember one lady was just sharing a story about how a friend of hers lost her husband due to a motorcycle accident, and I think they had made maybe like 2 payments. And so, with that being said, they had over a $200,000 policy, and they only made 2 payments. And so they was able to pay that whole death benefit.
Yes.
You know, even though that didn't bring him back, but they made 2 payments, and they was able to get, you know, a significant amount of income to help cover that, to help cover those bills, things like that.
And it gives the family stability during their time of sorrow. Nobody needs to be grieving for a long period of time and trying to figure out how to pay all these bills, take care of my children, buy groceries, put gas in the car, and the gas is so high right now. So this does benefit people. So I have another question, because people are probably, because since I'm thinking about it, other people probably are too. Do I have to go to the doctor and get a blood test? Do I have to get on a scale? I have to see how much I weigh and tell you this is how much insurance you can get. What do you have to do to qualify for a $200,000 policy?
Okay, so we have different questions that we ask. With that being said, it just depends on just the basic term now. You don't have to. So we ask certain questions. It'll tell us, once we plug in our system, hey, submit this COD, that means cash on delivery. Once we submit that, that person wouldn't have to pay anything right then. First of all, you need to go through underwriting, make sure you get approved. They might come back and say, okay, we check medical records, this person is good. Or it might come back and say, hey, they got, you know, they take more than X number of pills, 3 pills or something. And they say, okay, we can't do it at this rate because of the medical condition, but we can offer it at this rate. Or they can say, okay, this person we cannot insure. So then when you get anything over 300,000, that's sometime when they want to be able to do blood work and things like that.
Which is normal. Which is normal.
Basically, also, we do offer, and all the investments and everything that we do have sound good, but there might be someone who don't have the extra money to invest, might not have the extra money to afford insurance and everything like that, or they might not have the money to afford or do any of the service that we offer. So we do have a plan set in place to help them earn extra income to where it won't have no effect on their current situation, their financial situation, to where we can put them in a position to be able to work for the company as well. And while they work for the company, they can use, you know, a portion of that to cover everything that they really need and to be able to do that as well. And so we do have that opportunity.
And it can be part-time from the comfort of your own home. Like I said, you can do Zoom, so you don't have to worry about leaving out your home. So your kids can be there, your husband, whoever needs to be there.
That's
but you're not leaving out your home. Like I said, you're making money from your home. It's on your own schedule. And that's like, say, you're not working for Primerica basis. Like, you're your own business owner. Primerica is working for you. We're using their system in order to help families. So that's how you're having your own business set up. And so we'd be happy if anyone is interested, that's listening, be happy to tell you more information about it. You can just get in contact with Tiffany.
And then also, like we had stated earlier, you know, the company that we work for is Primerica, but as Lavonica and I views, we use it as a ministry, not so much of Primerica using it as a ministry. But one thing we know, and the reason why I say that is because no matter what you do, whether if it's Primerica, whether if it's your current job, no matter if you starting a business with friends, whatever you do is going to take a team. And if you have a good, solid team that's willing to work with you, willing to be there, willing to dedicate time, effort, finances to be able to help you get to where you need, then we use the Primerica services to be able to allow us to do that. That's why I stated that we use it as a ministry.
Yes. I think everyone listening and watching right now can agree that they have been in a position at one time or another in their life where somebody passed away and there was not enough money. Or they didn't have a will in place saying who was going to get what. Or they only had enough money left over, like $2,000. We've seen it. I've been through it. And what are we going to do with this piece of the money? Do we get somebody to clean out their place with the money? Do we all do it? And at the same time, you're grieving and you're going to work and you're still doing your normal everyday activities. But how do you help people understand that they actually need this service?
I would say that what we're doing now is just basically starting a
Yes.
conversation, talking about it, so people, because through the everyday life, people are just busy, so they never get around to it. It's kind of like you don't know you need it till you need it. And so having conversations and talking about it, you don't want to wait till the last till you really need it and you don't have it. And so you want to start now. This is your opportunity. This is your wake-up call. This is your signal. If you need a sign, this is it to let you know that,
Yes.
that it's needed. If you got your house in order, great. So now it's your duty to share with your friends and family. The people we say that we love, we care about. We don't want to see them struggle as well. So this is the opportunity to share, like this video, so they'll know what to do in times of trouble and before it's trouble comes.
And also, we do have services in place to help you get a will together as well. So we do all of that as well. So one of the things that we come to find out, if a person don't have life insurance, it's either because they've been too busy or either because they think they cannot afford it. Okay. And then you have some people that just don't care. So we able to sit down with a person, if they meet either one of those criteria, we able to at least sit down with them and show them that, hey, we probably got something that can fit your budget. If not, we got something that can help you get money to be able to do it. So either way, we, like we said, we like
you can help everybody. You can help everybody.
We can help everybody.
That's wonderful.
We can't do in the financial services business.
Okay, so let's go back to the will, because this is actually a conversation I was just having this weekend with my aunt. Okay, so the question is, do they pay you to help them with their will? Let me tell you how the conversation came up. Number one, she was in the hospital with COVID. My aunt almost died. My father did die of COVID in October. My aunt was in there with her oxygen levels low. And she said, I need to put a will together so everybody will know exactly what goes to who. You need to make sure you know your stuff is going to who you want to go to. And she told me, Tiffany, promise me, please promise me, you'll make sure so-and-so get the house. I said, I promise. But she realizes now, after going through that near-death experience, I need to have a will in place because she had so much more to give away besides a house.
Yes.
So how much is that service? Is it affordable?
Oh, yeah.
A person put a will in place? Do you all keep it on file?
What it is, like I said, that's one of our partnerships, and that's where the primary legal protection program.
Yes.
And it's $38 a month for that service, and that's it. And they do the wills, they set a trust for you, so it's just $38 a month. It's affordable.
That is affordable. So basically, they put down everything they have.
Yes, we give
whatever
you a
they want.
1-800 number, and you call, and then basically it's like having we call it an attorney in your back pocket.
Okay.
That's what it's set up like. And so we give you a 1-800 number to call. You pay your $38 a month, and they get you set up.
Sometimes you might run different specials, different promotions on certain things for newcomers to the company. I have known of them to do like a will, a free will to be put in place. So just different promotions that different companies run and things like that. So we just, it's just easier just to make that phone call.
You able just to save money going through us.
Yeah, you're saving money doing it that way. So it's services that people already need, and going through us, because we are a larger company, we can get, the connection that we need cheaper for.
Right. And now that we've talked about the financial services, you did touch a little bit on people joining your company and being part of the partnership. So here's the question, because I'm listening to how much the money is that goes in, a living will, different stuff. We're not sending people to other people and not making money, because I'm sure somewhere in here there's residual income.
Yes, it is.
So tell me about, if I said, hey, my sons want to work. They need a job. They can do this part-time from home. COVID's happening. How does my son, daughter, my friends at work want to work a part-time job, get involved? How can you teach them to make residual income?
So basically, it's a good thing, okay? What we have found out is not so much of just joining Primerica, but it's joining the right team, okay? Like I stated earlier, because when you're on the right team, you got to have somebody that's going to be dedicated to get you to where you need to go. one thing about it with Lavonica and I, we have already 2 years of experience in it, and we have more years as being a business owner, but just only with Primerica almost 2 years. So all the mistakes that we made, the reason why our team is growing, the reason why we're doing so well now is because all the mistakes that we made, we were able to say, hey, look, we don't need to make those mistakes. You don't need to make those mistakes. We already made them.
Yes.
Let's go this way. So that's going to help people grow and be successful faster than what we've done. The good thing about it is, that I like about it is, there's no jealousy. So with our team is one of the things to where it's like, hey, if we can get you there faster, the next person that you bring in, let's see if we can get them there faster than what we got you there for. Because now the key thing is getting people to reach their destiny faster. And we get joy just by seeing other people be blessed. That's the reason, another reason why I said we use it as a ministry, because we are actually helping it. And you take a 24-year-old, just for example, 30 years from now, they'll be 54. Their finances and everything, by using the services, some of the services that we offer, it costs people thousands of dollars just for their information. Just by being a part of the business, they getting it pretty much for free. So a 24-year-old, 30 years from now, 54 years, that person's should be in a way better situation financially than the average person that probably went to college and, just worked on a regular job, because they will learn the money game and how money works. Now, people that got college degrees and master degrees, that's not making more than the folks who quit out. So it doesn't matter about the education part. It's about your work ethic and what team that you are a part of.
Dedication matters. Dedication really does matter. I see you all happen to be a wonderful team for anybody to join. I have met you all, have known you all personally, not deeply, but I know enough to know that you love the Lord, you love his people, and you want him to bless his people. You want people to come up and do better for their families. And I was just talking the other day with my husband about posts people make on Facebook. There's nothing wrong with having beautiful cars, nothing wrong with having that. I'll be the first one to tell you there will be a time Tiffany might pull up in her favorite vehicle. But right now, I want to get on there and say, look at my post. It's paid in full. Woo! I don't owe a car note. TJ's is paid off. He don't owe a car note. When do we really get people to understand that financial stability matters? That if I say I want to fly to Chicago right now, I can. If I say I want to go to Korea to see my sister, I can. When do we get our people to understand that having money in the bank matters and not in the car? My car, you know why I'm not involved in that like that? Because it stays parked all day. And why am I spending a fortune on something I can only get in maybe 2 times a day? It's in the parking lot. It's in the garage. I'm just keeping it real, people. That's how I think. It's in the garage. If it can give me the point A to B and it's decent and I got room for my purse and my drinks and the food when we eat, when we rolling, Tiffany's happy.
Her purse and her drinks.
My purse, my drinks. Yeah, because when we go buy vehicles, Tony will tell you the first thing I do is I say, hold on, let me get in it. Can my purse my purse can't fit in the middle of this. Let's get out. How do we get people to understand we need financial services? I need you all to tell them your names, your phone numbers, and your information so they can reach out to you.
My name is Timothy Davis, and my phone number is 501-226-1055, or you can email me at davis_T116@yahoo.com.
My name is Lavonica Davis. My number is 501-282-0029. And you can reach me with Tim's address if you want to email.
Amen. I just thank you all so much for sharing with us today and sharing with the audience. Somebody's going to need your services and your care. And if nothing else, you're putting it in their brain right now. Hey, I do need to do this. Some people need financial services. They have children graduated from high school right now, getting ready to go to college. They need to know how to save money for retirement. A lot of us face that. Even on my job, we have mandatory retirement. You have to mandatorily retire at the age of 57, and people have to make sure they have enough money in place, because who leaves their job at 57? Most people don't, but we have to. The money has to be there. And I thank you all for sharing with us today. You can give yourself a hand. Woo! Amen. Thank you all for joining us in the Sitting Room of Faith.